Hi there. It's February the 25th and we continue our progress through the Good News of Mark, and we're reading from chapter 7:24 through to chapter 8 and verse 10. There are three separate sections in this reading today. The first one, Jesus is away from his hometown of Capernaum. He's away from Galilee. He's gone to the area of Tyre and Sidon, which is on the coast. Maybe he's gone away to move away from such crowds that are pressing in on him. But while he's there, a Greek woman comes, a Phoenician woman comes and asks for him to heal her daughter. Now, Jesus, in his initial reaction, is unwilling to engage, or he's unwilling to let her believe that this what he's got is for her. After all, he's come for Israel. He's come to speak to Jewish people. He's the King of the Jews. He's Messiah. But the woman presses in, and she says, even the dogs get the crumbs under the table when the children have eaten. And Jesus repents. It's almost as if he's inviting her to push through in faith. And so he relents, and he actually says, your daughter's going to be healed. And she goes back and she finds her daughter well. This is an example of Jesus reaching out to those beyond Israel, which sets the scene for what's coming after Pentecost, when all of the Gentiles, even the Romans, are included in the party. And then we read of Jesus healing a deaf and dumb person, and it looks as though he's doing really unconventional things. Jesus is not bound by convention in a sense. He's not bound by formulas. And here we read of him sticking his fingers in the ears of the deaf person and spitting on his tongue. A very strange thing to do. If we saw someone do that, we might be almost offended at it. But Jesus is listening to what his Father's telling him. And because of this, he opens the ears and the mouth of the dumb. And this is in fulfillment of what God has promised. And then in the last part, Jesus comes and he is once again feeding many people. Many people have come to him, and they've come from all over the place. It's a lonely place. It's a desert place. It's a place where they're far from places where they can get food, and they've travelled a long way. The disciples again want Jesus to send the people away, but Jesus says, let's give them something to eat. And this time they find they've got 7 loaves and a few fish, and so they feed them. They feed all these 4,000. Now it's different to the 5,000. This is a 4,000. They feed these 4,000 with a few loaves, and this time there are 7 baskets left over. It's very similar to the story of the feeding of the 5,000, but it seems to be a separate occasion that Mark is recording here. And this indicates Jesus' ability to feed the hungry. Not just that, but his ability to be the bread of life, as John says later. He's the one who fills the hungry. This looks back to the time of the manna in the wilderness. Jesus is able to bring satisfaction to many. He's able to fill the need. Jesus can meet our needs. Jesus can do things that no one else can do. If we come to him and we let him into our situations, he can transform who we are. He can transform our situations by his power and his presence. Have a very good February the 25th.